going to Lester in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Thank you.
We've brought you so many incredible stories of survival on Dateline. One we're very proud of that we won an Emmy for, that U.S. Airways jet that pulled off a perfect landing in the Hudson River. But probably the most personal survival story was about hiker Aron Ralston, whose will to live was put to an unthinkable test in a canyon in Utah. Tonight, Tom Brokaw sits down with Aron again and finds an adventurer who still loves a challenge, but is deeply changed.
The story of Aron Ralston never gets old. We all have the same question. What would I do to escape what seems to be certain death? Would I have the will and strength to prevail?
So here we are, this canyon.
In 2004, Aron Ralston took us with him to Blue John Canyon in Utah's Canyonlands National Park. It was 6 months to the day since the 26-year-old mountaineer and climber had been trapped at the bottom of a slot canyon. Ralston was pinned to the wall by a giant boulder. He had a video camera with him.
My name's Aron Ralston. My parents are Donna and Larry Ralston of Englewood, Colorado. Whoever finds this, please make an attempt to get it to them.
Are we getting close?
We're definitely getting close.
We were back where he had nearly died.
Standing here a few moments ago, I started to go a little teary-eyed over just seeing where it was and how pathetic it was. Just such a pitiable situation. And I can see the stains on the wall, and I know what those stains are from, and that I left those there. I did that.
Now, this is emotional for me. I can't imagine what it's like for you.
There it is.
Aron told us about his sleep deprivation that induced hallucinations, including one that gave him hope in the abyss of his despair.
I had the vision of this little 3-year-old boy with blonde hair and a red shirt running across the floor of the living room into my arms and picking him up and realizing it was my son and that this was a vision of something in my future.
That glimpse of what might be helped him to do what he had to do.
It came to me, this epiphany that I could break the bones because my
Ralston
arm was
explained
caught so
how he
tightly
first broke the bones
that I
in
could
his
torque
arm
myself.
and then cut his arm off with a cheap knife.
Boom, and I wasn't even attached anymore, and I fell down like this, and I was free.
You were reborn.
I knew I had a hell of a trip left, but at least I was not going to die right here.
This is tight, huh?
We retraced his escape route from the canyon, including where he had to rappel down a 6-story cliff.
Aron, we can put a rope on you.
Yeah, that's okay. There we go. That's always the hard part.
Okay.
As I rappelled out of Blue John Canyon, I was astonished that he had been able to do it all. Dehydrated, hungry, only one arm. Ralston was rescued by a helicopter sent up after an alert from his mother. It was the beginning of a long road back. There would be 5 surgeries, a life-threatening bone infection, and a period of deep depression. Ralston wrote a book, Between a Rock and a Hard Place. The Oscar-nominated movie, 127 Hours, was based on it.
All right, just once more here.
Aron married in 2009. By then, he was back skiing and mountain climbing. Today, when he's not outdoors, Ralston travels the country giving motivational speeches.
I left something behind in that canyon, but I didn't lose anything.
Is there ever a day that goes by that you don't flash back in some form?
Oh, I mean, the evidence is always there. It's still not the most natural thing for me to use my left hand. If you saw me try to throw a frisbee, I probably couldn't hit the water. I am constantly coping and adapting. He loves the tundra.
What Ralston really wanted to talk about when I caught up with him last week was his 2-year-old son, Leo.
He's got these eyes, this beaming smile on his face, and it is exactly the vision of this child that I had all those years ago.
You have the memory of this child that gave you the inspiration, who appeared in a vision.
Yeah.
And then next to you is the reality of your son.
Oh, absolutely. And that's part of this mystical experience of life. He sometimes gets a curiosity and is now old enough to realize, where's your hand, Dad? And I say, oh, it's in Utah. And, oh, we should go find it. No, it's happy where it is.
There are some things that Aron Ralston can laugh about now, but he also shared with me some serious lessons learned that he will heed the rest of his life.
This was a physical story, as we all know, about the guy who cut his arm off, but it's a metaphysical story as well about what connects us to one another, that gives us a strength, possibly even the power to be able to take a drastic action, knowing that I was going to get back. Maybe someday to see that boy. Yeah.
Now, here's a blast from the past. Remember the Dateline timeline? The following happened during the month of May. Do you know what the year was? More than 75 million Americans watched as Seinfeld signed off.
I can't, I like that.
America's most famous babies, the McCoy septuplets, celebrated their 6-month birthday.
Start spreading the news.
And that legend in song, Frank Sinatra, passed away at the age of 82. All right, what year was it? 1996, 1997, or 1998? The answer when Dateline continues.